Now, what is going on, guys? Today I wanted to discuss the two main endpoint authentication and authorization methods in both OAuth and OpenID Connect. Simply because, if you look at this table here, so this is the IANA registry of the ways on how you can authenticate to the token endpoint, then you should actually know what each of these things mean. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. So it's actually very simple. So client secret basic means that you are using a HTTP Basic Auth to get to the token endpoint. So that means you have a shared secret, a client secret. You have a username, which is like the client ID. And then you take that stuff, join it with a colon and base64 encode it, and then put it in the authorization header. So it's pretty simple, but also, as the name says, pretty basic. But it's kind of nice to have this in the header, so it's out of the payload. Another thing is client secret post, which is the case when you take this the client ID and the client secret and put them actually in the payload. Okay, so it's essentially the credentials are exactly the same as in the first case. The only difference is that in the first case you put them in the header, and in the second case you put them in the body. And in general, it's more recommended to use basic auth because you kind of separate the authorization and authentication from the payload. But some authorization servers might not support that, so that's why you kind of might also put it in the body. Yeah, so these are the two things, or the major two things that are also defined in the original OAuth RFC. And then of course there's none, which means, well, yeah, there is just none, so nothing essentially. And then this one is something that we have already talked about. Yeah, so TLS client auth and TLS self-signed client auth is mutual TLS. So in case of self-signed, it means you created the certificate by yourself. And in case of client auth, it means you have a certificate from a certificate authority. So it's pretty self-explanatory. The only thing I still need to explain are these two. But since this is more in the scope of the OpenID Connect project, I'm going to do that in a separate video. Cool. So thank you so much, guys. Have a nice day, and give the video a like if you like it. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.